Hello, friends. How are you? It is another Tuesday, and it is another cold Tuesday.
Yes.
I don't know about you. I'm a little chilly. Granted, it's Georgia. I'm a Michigan girl, so it's quote unquote cold.
Michigan.
Yes. Now
Michigan.
Lisa is freezing. She says.
Yeah, I'm in North Florida. I'm only 2 hours. What? 2.5 hours from you?
Yeah. No, I think a little bit more than that.
3. It's not long. It's not far.
It's not far. It's not far.
Now, I'm up in North Florida. Don't let these people think I'm like down in South Florida.
No, but
33 degrees in Cleveland. Y'all got no reason to be.
Oh, wait. No.
We didn't ask how cold it was in that room in your house, Lisa. We asked how cold it was in northern Florida.
Hang on. I'm just trying to see if I got you.
Hey, Big Red. Hey, Kristen.
I got 40.
I got 39.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remember
that. If you're watching us anywhere but YouTube, come on over to YouTube where you can get in the comments with some of our fun friends.
Fun.
Our people, our peeps, our regular contributors to the show.
We love our regular contributors. They have so much to say. They ask the best questions. Y'all come on and join us over here so that be a part of the mix. We love it.
Yes. And shout out to our sponsor. Lisa, do the thing.
Donkey's Cheesesteaks. How many locations?
3.
Mount Valley, Medford,
Camden. Why you start with that finger, Lisa?
I didn't mean to start. It just like all of a sudden shot up. I was like, when we were talking about Michigan, and I think it just got.
Hey, mine does the same thing.
Yeah, right. Talk about Michigan, it gets twitchy.
We'll talk about Michigan tomorrow. We'll talk about a lot of college things tomorrow. If you're in college football, come right here tomorrow. We're going to talk about 2 people wearing the same number and confusing people. I have my recommendations for. We're going to talk about the U and their chances. It's a whole lot of talk tomorrow. But today, let's. I think Sonia and Lisa will give everybody a little peek behind the curtain if they're not already aware. Dana's the one that keeps us organized.
Yeah.
She makes sure that we have topics for the show. She makes sure that we're on time. She does the schedule for the weekend on who's going to cover what game. She really keeps her crap together, and she is out today. And so we just showed up today with no real topics to talk about. But there are a couple things going on in the NFL that I think are important to talk about. We're talking about the New York Giants and the Brian Daboll situation. We're going to talk about some teams that are surprising us. In the Michigan-Miami game, I think we can talk about, or the Bills-Miami game, I think we can talk about both teams. Want to touch a little bit on the Bears, and I think we'll talk a little bit about the Giants. There you go. When we talk about Brian Daboll. Let's start with Brian Daboll.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
I think, Lisa, you and I are on the same page. We thought he would have been fired at the end of last season. I don't understand the point firing him in the middle of the year.
I just think firing in the middle of the year, I think you had to appease the fans because they were just getting restless. I think it's, it also gives them a head start to start, getting the coaching things done, because I think there's still going to be a couple at the end of the year that we're going to see. So I think it just gives the team a little bit of a head start to kind of get an idea, or they might have somebody in mind. Some of the games this weekend brought a lot of offensive coordinators to the forefront. So it's kind of interesting if you're a Giants fan, I think you're happy. I've got Giant members in my family. So they're excited. They've been wanting him gone, like you said, since last year. So they're ecstatic. And I think it, like I said, gives the silver lining. It gives the team a little bit more opportunity to, be the first out of the gate to start trying to, find another coach, along with Tennessee, correct? Tennessee has a vacancy too. So
I thought it was a little premature. I'm not a Brian Daboll fan, never have been. He did a stint here for a while and not,
But what about the offensive coordinator? Would you take him?
I don't know. I don't know that he'll be available for that because, Sonia, I have a question for you from what I heard today. But to me, I think at least that Giants job is more attractive now. You've got Jackson Dart, and maybe Scatabo getting hurt was sort of the thing for management to go, you know what, we're giving up on this season. Let's just get rid of Daboll now. We'll have an interim for a while, and we can really focus on who, like you said, Lisa, who our next guy's going to be, knowing they found their quarterback in Jackson Dart. I think that's a good, safe bet. But Sonia, I heard Mr. Daboll was spotted this weekend wearing a Nittany Lion sweatshirt. You think he'd go after the Penn State job? Or is that just subtle? Is that what you do now when you get fired in the NFL? You wear college. I got a LSU. There's a whole bunch of college football teams that are going to be needing head coaches next year. Could you see him moving down to college?
I think he potentially could, but I don't know if he'd want to do Penn State, because Penn State, they expect so much, right? Like, they are always ranked high to start the season. They always have a lot of expectation on their shoulders. And I think the next coach is going to have to fill that. And I don't have faith in Mr. Daboll to be able to do that. So I think he was just being a goof and putting on the Nittany Lions, because why not?
Lisa, the Giants are 2-8 right now. They lost that tight game to the Bears. They got killed by the 49ers and the Eagles, and which I would have expected, except after what I saw from the Eagles last night. I don't know what to say about the Eagles. I think it really started the end, maybe started even all the way back in the Broncos game when they gave up, 30-some points in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Do they win another game this year? Does it matter if they win another game this year? Do you think Jackson Dart's their quarterback and Scatabo will get healthy and next year they'll be a contender?
Definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely. Scatabo will be back. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It just kind of depends on what pieces they put together, how much of a clean house they do. Like I said, right now it was just him. So I'm not sure, what the ownership has in mind for them, but they're going to have a higher pick. We already know that. Well, they don't need a quarterback. We know that because Jackson Dart's pretty much sealed that. So you just start, go to the trenches. That's what I'm saying. Go to the trenches, protect him.
Always.
That's always, and start there. So, and once again, might go back to what we just said. It just gives them a little bit more of a, leeway to see what they're going to need coming in the draft. They know you're obviously going to have a easily. I think it's going to be a top 5 pick. I don't see them winning another game. They might win 1 or 2, but they're still going to be right there. So like I said, it'll give him another shot to kind of get, protection around him and something like this. They got to do something with that line. They got to shore up that line.
Agree. And
Tennessee's
also,
on pace to get the number 1 pick again.
I mean, they have Malik Neighbors too. So, I mean, they've got talent there.
Yeah.
But Sue's saying it. She's like, the GM also needs to be gone too. I don't really have good faith in their management, to be quite honest. And I mean, I think they're starting to turn around a little bit, but I still don't have great faith in them.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, how much pride they have. Coach, I'm just going to call you Coach. I can't read your whole long name. It always matters to finish down the stretch, because with the coach being fired, everyone's job is on the line. Not for the team, they're just one, but the whole NFL, if they want me to move on. These guys want to play in the NFL. Either they believe in what's going to happen in New York. They've given up on this season, but they're still getting paychecks. They still have pride. It amazes me how some of these players find ways to motivate themselves, which I think is sort of going to roll us right into that Buffalo-Miami game. Lisa, I know you and I are both on hipster homebrew getting fired watch, and his players keep playing like they care and like they like him. Chris Greer being gone, I don't know how that affects the game, but they sure showed up the last couple of weeks to play.
Yeah, they talked about that this morning on some of the NFL shows this morning about it. It's funny is when head coaches, GMs seem to get fired, the team seems to respond the next couple of weeks with wins. So it's kind of a trend. It's kind of like, it's not a knock on anything. I think it's just a response thing that, we're not quitters. We're not thing. I don't know what. This was a trap game for Buffalo for me. I mean, they just came off that win for Kansas City. I think they just kind of thought this was going to be a little bit more of a cakewalk, especially with, the turmoil down here with Greer getting walked out and McDaniels still staying. Ross said he's going to stay the year. He's going to stick it out with him. But it's funny, as they talked about this morning, of teams, how teams, the percentage was like 90% of teams that dismiss head coaches or GMs win the next game.
Yeah, everybody but Tennessee.
Yes.
It wasn't even close. I watched that game. It didn't feel, it was 30-13. Sonia, it didn't feel like Buffalo was Buffalo at all at any point in that game.
And you think about that game, and then I also think about the Falcons game and how they just got whooped there too. Yeah. And you're just kind of like, did y'all overlook the Falcons as well and the Dolphins? And then if that's the case, I gotta talk to Sean McDermott, because what are you doing? What is the leadership? Where are you going with this?
And especially this year, because last year, this loss probably wouldn't have been anything, because I think all three, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Patriots, were all at the bottom. I mean, they had an easy 3-4 game cushion. You have no cushion. The Patriots are ahead of you.
I was about to say, they literally have none.
This is a division thing. So that's kind of what kind of threw me when people start saying, I don't think that they can't afford to, because the Patriots are, prime. And you look at the Patriots schedule, it favors them tremendously.
That's 8-2. Bills now dropped to 6-3. Dolphins at 3-7. The Jets beat my Browns. That was such a surprise to nobody. Well, the surprise was their two special team scores and the 4 yards of offense they had. They're 2-7. So the Jets are not a factor, but the Dolphins are absolutely playing spoiler, and the Bills cannot afford to lose games. This division could end up sending one team to the playoffs, and it won't be the Bills, which might be the shocker of the season if they don't make the playoffs.
As of right now, the way the standings are, the road through the AFC is going to go through New England.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or Indianapolis or Denver. Those are the three teams with 8 wins right now. It's insane. Looking at the other divisions in the AFC West, you've got the Broncos with 8, Chargers with 7. So they would both be going to the playoffs right now. Colts with 8 wins in the South. They got a big gap before you get to the Jags at 5. So the Colts are going to go. Nobody wants to win in the AFC North. The Steelers have 5 wins. The Ravens have 4. The Bengals have 3, and the Browns have 2. But the Ravens are on a 3-game winning streak,
which
Lamar has come back.
We already discussed that.
Insane. And then this week, the Steelers played like they forgot how to play defense. That defense was back last week, and then this week it disappeared again. So I don't even know that anybody thinks the Steelers can maintain their spot in the North. The Ravens are just going to chew through the rest of the season. And then you've got the Patriots atop the AFC East. So the Bills could not afford to lose that game, especially not in division. They need to shake that off. But, let's talk about, since we're in the AFC, let's talk about the Ravens. 3-game winning streak. Yeah. Lamar makes that big a difference. Their entire team
schedule also makes that much of a difference.
They have a very sweet schedule.
And we said that as when Lamar came back against the Dolphins. We said that. And everybody nationally was saying how done they are. And I'm like, we talked about it. I said, no, we're not. They're not done. They're going to win the division, because Lamar's going to get healthy. He's coming back to the Dolphins, and look at their next 4 games. I mean, they're going to be right back.
They took care of the Bears, and the Bears have won every game since. They handily took care of the Dolphins. They got by the Ravens. I feel like that game was fairly close with 27-19. And this week they have the Browns. Then they have the Jets. Then they have the Bengals. They're going to get another 3.
Yes.
And then the Steelers, December 7th. And then the Bengals again. Their toughest game remaining would be December 21st. They have the Patriots. Which could be a preview of the AFC Championship game. And the following week, they have the Packers. I don't know what to say about the Packers. I would have thought that would have been a better game until I saw them play. I don't know what that mess was I watched last night. That was, I don't know.
That was crap.
It was almost as bad as the other game that I think.
I had that one.
Who had the game that was 2-3 at the end of the first quarter?
Was that the Broncos game Thursday night? Good God Almighty!
That was terrible. And last time we were 0-0 at halftime, I fell asleep. I had to get up this morning and see who won.
I had to drive through that one.
Counting on points last night.
Yeah, I had to drive through that one. It was awful.
I mean, but it was such a dichotomy because you had like big time blowouts, like with Seattle, with Detroit, and
4 o'clock games,
the Rams, and then we have these awful games.
those second half of the day games, the Rams put up 42 points, the Lions put up 44, the Seahawks put up 44. Davis Mills led the Texans to a 36-29 win over the Jags. There were some high-scoring games this weekend.
Yeah.
And then we get 10-7 on Monday Night Football.
But you know what? It was different to me. It was at least we had exciting plays. It was like we would have breakout runs.
Yeah.
And then we'd have long passes. Then we'd have nothing for like 2-3 minutes of just solid defense. I mean, if you're a defense lover, you love that game because, I mean, that's all you got because it was crazy. Yeah. Crazy shit.
For sure.
Yes,
if we head over to the NFC, Eagles are ahead in the East with 7 wins. The Cowboys and Commanders both only have 3. Not how we saw that division going.
Mm-mm.
Lions and Bears are tied in the North with 6. Buccaneers with 6, and the Panthers are hot on their trail in the South with 5.
Look at the Panthers only have.
Panthers lost this weekend.
Yeah,
they're one of those teams, like you said. It's like one week, like, oh my god. Next week, it's like, what?
What? I don't know what happened last weekend. They lost to. Why can't I find them on my list?
Who?
Panthers.
The Panthers lost to Saints.
They lost to the Saints, and I felt bad because I gave my daughter fantasy advice. I said, don't play anybody on the Saints for a few weeks. And she had Kamara, so she didn't play him.
I don't think it was a high-scoring game.
It wasn't a high-scoring. It was like 17-7. It wasn't a big fantasy game anyway. But in the West, you've got the Seahawks and Rams at 7, 49ers hanging in there at 6. So you've got a couple close races in the NFC. But let's talk about these Bears for a minute. They've won 2 games in a row. They've got 6 wins on the season, which last year they only had 5 through the whole year.
Yep.
Their schedule upcoming is they have the Vikings this week, so that's a division game that actually might be good. Then they have the Steelers, the Eagles, and then the Packers in division. Then they get my Browns on December 14th. They'll get another win this year. Then they have the Packers again, the 49ers, and the Lions. They still have 3 or 4 division games left. They do not have an easy schedule.
Are we buying?
One game that should be pretty easy, but I think, Lisa, Caleb Williams seems to have finally figured it out.
I don't know. Are we buying it though? Are we buying the Bears?
I don't know.
Are you?
Are we buying? I don't know.
Are we buying or selling? I don't know. That's why I want to ask you.
Is his athleticism is good. Some of the throws he makes though are still head scratchers. But I mean, they're there every game. They're, and what are we talking about improving, right? I mean, it seems like Ben Johnson's got him going. It seems like this is a good fit. Seems like he's working with him. And I'm going to use your coach's, Kate, statement. He's coaching him up. I think that's what he's doing right now. He's coaching him up. And I think that is a great statement from him. It's not a great statement from Savancy because you need to be coaching the other guy up too. So I think when you put him in that one, I think that's what we're seeing happen. I think he's growing up right in front of our eyes with Ben Johnson. So are we buying it though? I don't know yet. I don't know. I mean, it's like, so the dynamics of every single weekend is there, but I mean, what I'd say with the Bears, they're in the position to win the game in the fourth quarter. And that's what a lot of coaches said. Just give us a position. Just put us in a position to win the game in the fourth quarter. Keep it close and and they're making magic happen. So
agree.
Caleb Williams has played 9 games this season. He's got a 60% completion rate for 2,100 yards. He's averaging 7 yards a pass, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I think the 14 sacks is what's really hurting him is the pressure he gets. He's not getting rid of the ball fast enough. His line is not great, but
that's been his knock.
He's not getting rid of it.
That's been his knock on him is faster reads, because we went back through that, at the beginning of the season with Ben Johnson's offense. You got your reads. I mean, when you look at, Jared Goff and what he did with him and how Jared progressed quickly through the reads, Caleb was not as quick as Goff was, but he's still young. He's still learning. And I still think, it's there for him. So I think he's coaching him up. I do. I think we're seeing him progress every single week, getting better. And they're just there in the fourth quarter to win.
I pulled up his last year's stats. He's about the same with his completions and his yards. He had 20 touchdowns all year last year with 6 interceptions and took 68 sacks. So if we're halfway through the season and he's taken 14 sacks, I guess he's on pace for 28, which is considerably better than last year.
That's a win.
It's a win-win.
He's
and they're winning. They're winning the game, so that's what matters.
Yeah, I think when I look at their schedule, who do they have? Who did I just say they have next week? They have the Vikings and the Steelers. I think the next 2 weeks will tell me if I'm buying them or not. Because I think anything can happen in that division. It's the Steelers game that if the Steelers decide to play defense again. 2 weeks ago, their defense was unbelievable. This week was Swiss cheese. So if they figure out their defense again, and A-Rod figures out his business, then
A-Ron.
A-Raj.
And at this point, looking at that question that Kate just had, at what point do we start pulling starting quarterbacks to see what we got on the bench? Is there a point in this if you're 2 and you've only got 2 or 3 wins? Are you going to the bench? We already know what Stefanski
Kevin says no.
He said
Kevin says no.
So
last week's game was out of control. I think so. At some point in the third quarter, I might have put him in, but that's not the way I want to see Shedeur enter the NFL. I want him to be named the starter. I want him to have first team reps all week. I want him to be ready to go. I don't think they are ready to give up on the season yet. As stupid as that sounds, like they have we have 2 wins. Like I can't get to double digits now. Well, I can. I have enough games left. I could get to double digits. Wouldn't that be something? It's my new goal. The next few weeks are rough. I'd maybe say when there are 4 weeks left, listen, we need to see what we have. Tell Dylan Gabriel. Is Lisa frozen again?
Yeah,
Tell
she's
Dylan
frozen
Gabriel
again.
that, listen, this is nothing against you, but we need to see what he is. We need to figure out what the future looks like under center. We need to see if one of you is worth a trade, it has any value out on the market, and put him in. But that's not how Cleveland does. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start a game this year, and that's frustrating. I'm also hearing Deshaun Watson might come back, and that makes me want to. Yes, his rehab has gone well. He seems to think he's just a couple weeks from being ready to play. I don't know if that means Kevin will play him or not. I
hope not.
I hope not, but I don't know. Really? We have some. Lisa texted, did we all get booted or just me? Oh, just you, Lisa.
Just you, Lisa.
Just
come
you,
back
Lisa.
in.
Can you
text
my God.
her? Big Red asks a good question. Yeah. Is it better to be consistent or good half the time? It's better to be consistent. I think good half the time. Okay, what's wrong with the other half? I mean, be consistent. You at least know what you've got going on.
So consistency is important from the standpoint of then you can learn what to fix. Right. And to me, I think of it more in golf. My golf game is I had to learn to consistently hit one club at a time at the driving range. And once I could get 110 yards out of this one or 200 out of that one, I knew what I had. I think in football, you need to play consistently. And then you can sit and watch film and then go, if I'm going to throw this ball the same way every time, and half the time my receivers drop it, is it the speed or is it the receiver? Whose fault is it on? And you just keep doing that and the receiver will adjust to it. You can adjust to a quarterback who's consistent.
Which is a great thing, because when you look at these and you talking on Twitter, it's hard because it's like we don't know whether what patterns they are. We don't know what the if it's a whip route. We know that the wide receiver needs to drift over to the left. A lot of times you'll see these guys drift upward. So my thing with that is when you break that play down and you see, and a lot of the young guys do it, they'll drift up the field instead of going where the ball's supposed to be. My only issue with quarterbacks that throw that is when they start the drift that they're supposed to be left, that ball's supposed to be gone before they even cut.
Yep.
A lot of these quarterbacks, and I don't understand it, because when you have vision, and they talk about the vision in front of you. Now, obviously, if you're a shorter quarterback, you struggle with those, right? Come on, you can't see. But a lot of times if you part these linemen and you have good vision, how are you still throwing that ball when you see the defender right there? Obviously, he's got the cut to the ball. That's what drives me crazy. And I had a guy argue with me it happened in the U game where Tony drifted up the field, but Carson's vision was not blocked. He still threw the ball. I mean, it's like, why are you throwing the ball when you clearly can see that he's going? Because that ball wasn't gone when that whip route was supposed to be. That ball was not gone. You clearly can see that. And that always drives me crazy. And even some of the games where
Lord, there she goes again.
But her point is valid. If your quarterback can see the receiver, they zero in on the receiver and they don't pay attention to the safety or the corner who's about to come over and undercut that route and steal that ball. And so you need to be consistent. But I struggle with that a lot too. Like we'll be watching the games and somebody in my house will be like, that's the worst pass ever. That wasn't even close to the receiver. And I'm like, okay, was the receiver where he was supposed to be? Was it a timing route where the quarterback sees him and he's supposed to let go and the receiver's supposed to cut one way or the other? We don't know. But that's why they watch film. They know exactly what the play call was. They draw it up on this is what's supposed to happen. And then they put the film on and go, and this is what y'all did. They know where to lay the blame. We put it all on the quarterback. Sometimes it's the receiver. Sometimes the defense just makes a great play. So,
Agreed.
Let's go some questions. Big Red. If you're a Cleveland fan, do you pray for Watson to stay? I never pray for anyone to stay hurt, but I don't want him on my football field. I don't. He has never been good. He has never played well for us. So, Ravens fans couldn't wait for Lamar to get back. Bengals fans couldn't wait for Joe Burrow to get back. I'm not going to win any more games if Deshaun comes back versus leaving Dylan in. Deshaun coming back ain't winning me any games. So he might as well not come back. I don't want him to stay hurt. I just don't need to see him.
I hear you. Big Red asks another question. Hang on. Coming. There we go. Do good quarterbacks with a bad team start making ways for a trade or just be happy where they are? I think it's a personality thing. I think if, you take a person like Russell Wilson, he was a good quarterback and he just kind of got a little, I don't know, he felt he could do better and he did. But then when he was in Denver, he was not happy, but he wasn't making a big stink about it, right? Like,
and not publicly. Who knows what he said in private?
Right. True.
But he also had his Super Bowl. Does you think that matters if you already have one in the belt? I think if you're a good quarterback, it's really. Let's use last night's game with Jalen Phillips. He sucked. He was sucking down here last night. I didn't recognize that man on the field because that's how much to me that team elevated that dude. Mm-hmm. That to me was what they traded for. He was all over the place. They were even saying it about him. So, I mean, and if you're a hungry, good quarterback and you want to win a championship, I think you try to go to another team that you're in contention with immediately.
So I think there's there's two ways to go. Sonia, I think you're right. It's a personality thing. I think there are a handful of guys who are ring chasing, who want to go play somewhere and get a championship. But and maybe this is me being cynical, I think there are a lot more of them who just want to get paid. And they don't care how crappy that team is. They want to get paid. And for 20 minutes, they want to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And they don't care about anything beyond that. If they're unhappy with their situation, I guarantee you it is directly related to how much they're being paid.
Which is sad, right? Because you really, we miss that. We miss that those old 70s, 80s teams where players stayed on the teams and just they won a championship so bad. And you get it. I think Josh Allen's one of those. I think he's high paid, but I think he wants a ring really, really bad.
Yeah.
I think that guy balls out. I think he really wants. I think Lamar does too. I think they want to make, and like you said, I think there's, like you said, personality. There's different quarterbacks where you can tell the quarterbacks that really are chasing that and really are putting out, and then the quarterbacks that are just like, yeah, okay, I'm just here.
Yeah, I don't know if it doesn't feel like, and this is awful to say, I don't feel like the majority of players care about the game as much as they care about the money. They don't care about getting into the Hall of Fame. They don't care about stats unless the stats are related to their money. They'll go from team to team to team, and they're perfectly happy doing that because they're getting paid. And I think that's just me being cynical. I think you're right, Lisa. I think there are a good number of people who stay and who care and who are trying to get there. But you get to a place, Aaron Rodgers left the Packers. He knew it wasn't happening there. He wasn't happy with the direction they were going. I don't know why Myles Garrett stayed in Cleveland. I know we paid him an insane amount of money, but there's nothing that I've seen this year to indicate that they gave him some clue into a plan that was going to make us better. He stayed for the money. He could have gotten that money somewhere else. So
you're right.
I don't know. It's a good question. It's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm. But you definitely can see it to me. You can see the players that are hungry. You can see the players that really want, especially in the quarterback aspects. There's just a couple quarterbacks that you can see, and some of the ones that have already won it, like Matthew Stafford, he's still got that fire in him. I mean, you can see it this year. He wants another one. He wants to go back.
Yeah, he does.
So I think it's kind of interesting. And I love Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts' attitude because he's on my mentality with quarterbacks, with stats. I don't care if I throw the ball 40 times and my quarterback rating's 25. If we win the game, that's all this dude cares about. And that's me. I could care less about stats. And how many times do I argue with people on Twitter with, oh, well, he's number 4. You're number 4, but your team's 2-8.
Right.
I don't care if he's number 4. I don't care, if he had 110 quarterback rating, you still lost the game. I'm with Jalen Hurts 100%.
It's fantasy stats versus your team winning.
Right.
Joe Flacco had 71 points and lost in the Bengals-Bears game. He had 71 fantasy points.
Well,
and they still lost. And he was upset about it.
And look at Vegas now. Look at Vegas with the team with the Patriots, where he looked to the sidelines to see the coaches do, am I scoring or not? How many people had like +7 that were like, you better go in the end zone?
Oh, there's a lot of that. And, it's we're dealing with the gambling things because the Cleveland Guardians closer, Class A, has been indicted and they're trying to find him.
Yeah.
He wasn't in custody the last time I looked. Is looking at doing a lot of time in prison in a scandal involving betting on what the next pitch would be.
I can't.
I struggle with some of those kind of prop bets. What's the next pitch going to be? What's the next? Is the next guy to run to touch the ball going to have an odd or even number? Like some of those insane things. But their solution to that is to put a cap of $200 as the most you can bet on what the next pitch is going to be. I don't know if that fixes the problem. It's ridiculous. What makes me crazy is it feels so hypocritical to watch all of these shows on all of the networks having they used to have their fantasy segment. Now they have their prop bet segment. The beginning of every Cavaliers basketball game I watch, all of the ESPN and NFL network shows have they put up a parlay where they pick, betting things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know there's a lot of money in it, but you can't keep acting surprised that it's messing with the integrity of the game when it's everywhere.
Literally
They're
everywhere.
sponsoring everything. You can't have it both ways. So,
is Darcy in the chat?
I haven't
Darcy
seen
was earlier. What's up?
Well, I just was wondering if you are the Washington Commanders, you're 3-7. Technically, Washington's only 3-5. Do you shut if Jalen comes back? Are you are you shutting Daniels down?
I would.
Shut him down.
I would. I mean, more so to protect him. And, they kind of made a mistake with him a couple weeks ago. And he's a talented kid. He is talented AF. And I think that you want to preserve him and keep him for the long run. So if this season is pretty much a wash, which it is, initially when we thought that they were going to be great this season, then yeah, maybe you do. But now, I would just
they're in second place in their division with their 3 wins.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Do you, if he's able to come back, which they're saying he has a shot of coming back in this season, do you bring him back?
I mean, there are 9 teams ahead of them right now, so they're not getting in the playoffs.
I'd shut them down. Personally, I'm done.
I mean, their upcoming schedule includes the Dolphins. Sorry.
Well, that would be a good game to sit 2-2. We won't go there, though. Because that's never going to happen.
I mean, they have the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Vikings. Yeah, just rest.
I mean, it's a conversation to have. We talked last week about him getting hurt the way he got hurt in a meaningless part of a game.
Right.
And I think they need to think long term. They need to consider what's going on this season. They just need to be very careful about what they do with him when they bring him back. You don't want to tick off the fans. The fans are going to scream if you're not competitive. But, they're on a 5-game losing streak. I mean, that's brutal.
Ouch.
That is brutal.
And just because Big Red is here, I will ask if we think there are any teams that are interested in Rattler. I mean, we're past the trade deadline. We're past the trade deadline. Does he play again this year, or do you think they release him and let him go find a new home?
That's hard. I don't know.
I would think they should let him find a new home. Just release him, let him find a new home. He could back up somewhere, right?
He could back up there. Why would he have to go then? My question is, I don't think they do, because I think you have to see what you have, because you're obviously going to have one of those top 5 picks. So my question is, are you going quarterback? That's the biggest question. Are you going to go quarterback?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
They probably are. Aren't they going to get that kid out of LSU?
Because save him for next year. Coach says they won't until they're officially and even then, even when they're officially out of the playoffs, I think he still plays.
Oh yeah, I do too, because I still think you have to see what you have and whether you're going to invest.
You have to know if he's fully healed, and you have to evaluate the rest of that team. If the problem, he's your quarterback. You're not. Is the problem your running game? Is the problem your passing game? Your receivers? Is the problem your defense and field position? You have to understand what you need in next year's draft, even when it's not a quarterback. I know that surprises people, but there are other positions that you draft for, and I don't think Washington expected to have this season, and I'm not sure, unlike the Colts, I'm not sure that the Commanders have figured out exactly why they're losing games and what they need to do to fix that. So I think their best chance of figuring that out is with him at the under center. Be the best you can be. Big Red starting it up. Rattler could start in Miami. Tua isn't going to last much longer in South Beach. And then
as long as he's what? How tall is Spencer?
How tall is he? That's what I was just going to say.
Let me look it up.
I was going to say, how damn tall is that dude?
How tall is Spencer Rattler?
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, we're dropping, Sonia. We're dropping. We're dropping.
Oh, look at y'all. Y'all getting close to us.
Oh, it went to 37 now. We're dropping.
He's 6'1".
Okay. I'm good.
Justin Fields is 6'3", and I don't know that he stays with the Jets after this year. So
no,
you
Jets
may
are
have some tall people that are available.
Jets are.
I thought he found his
market.
happy place with the Jets, and the last few weeks they won in Cleveland. But let's face it, that's because we gave up 2 special team touchdowns back to back. That wasn't Justin. I thought this would be a week for him to shine, and he did not.
The memes of the week are misfire for Mendoza. That's what all the top code. That's the new memes. Misfire for Mendoza.
Well,
we're going to talk about Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback of Indiana, tomorrow on the college.
Yeah, we are.
That comeback was great. That game was great. He made his Heisman. He took his Heisman flag and planted it in the ground and said,
"Yeah, he did. That was his Heisman moment right there."
But first, he got for us.
He'd like Daniel's shut down.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus everywhere from what I've been hearing on like First Take was the same thing. They're just like, nope, sit him down. No reason.
If his injury is such that he's going to be fine in 2 weeks, you bring him back. But if it's one of those where they're like going to rush him back because they need him, don't bother. Don't bother. Let him get better on his own, and then I think by the time he's actually better, the season will be over. They won't have to make a decision.
Then he says, Miami's winning by 40. Your defense gets Darcy. Y'all's defense. Bless.
I'm listening to Darcy. I'm listening to Darcy.
Come to play.
I'm listening to Darcy. I'll take 2 in a row.
Kind of bad, but they didn't come to
2
play.
in a row.
Two in a row.
That'll be the headline of the paper in the Miami Herald. 2
well, you'll get some turnovers. Because obviously we accept that if you just launch the ball on 3rd down, that's just as good as a punt. So that I'm just like, good God Almighty, that's just excuses, bro. I mean, come on.
All right, upcoming this week, Thursday night, Jets Patriots.
Oh,
are we giving the Jets any chance at all in this game?
Nope.
No.
They're going to misfire for Mendoza.
Well, the Dolphins have the Commanders. Panthers, Falcons should be good. I think the Panthers are getting better, and I think the Falcons have had some bad luck. Packers and Giants will be awful. Bengals, Steelers might be fun.
Is Joe back?
I don't think he's going to be back yet. I think it's still Flacco-mania down there.
Yeah, it's Flacco-mania.
We have Chargers, Jags, Bears, Vikings, another NFC North matchup. Texans, Titans, Buccaneers, Bills. That's the early slate of games.
That'll be a good game. Game.
That's going to be
the Commanders and Dolphins. That's a Europe game. Are they in Madrid?
Yep, they're in Spain.
Spain. Oh, I want the broadcast team to tell me in Spanish.
I
want to find the Spanish channel. I'll have to find ESPN Deportes.
That Bills Bucks game should be the game of the week for us, I think, because those are two teams that lost and need bounce back games, and they both need to win.
They need this game. Yeah, this is a bigger game than what we thought it would be.
Yeah, late afternoon, you've got 49ers Cardinals, and Kyler Murray is done for the season. In case you weren't aware, he's on IR and out. Then you've got Seahawks Rams. I bet they don't put up another 40 spot.
That is going to be that might be the game of the week.
That might be
the game of the week.
Well, but wait, there's more. I'm pretty sure it won't be Ravens at Browns. But Chiefs at Broncos is another game with big playoff implications.
Yeah.
Sunday night is Chiefs Lions Eagles.
Ooh, another good game.
And then Monday night is a dud, is the Cowboys Raiders.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cardinals definitely need to move on from Kyler Murray. The Kyler Murray experience is over.
Yeah, I think he's done. He doesn't play another down.
Yeah. He should have stuck with baseball, y'all. He should have.
I agree. I
can go back. Down. He can go back. They'll take him.
He needs to go back because
he got drafted by the A's. They could use him for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I don't know who he got drafted by.
Lisa, do overseas games hit as much for the locals as it does when they are in the States? This might have been a Dana question because I think she's actually been to an NFL game there.
It's hard for me because everybody I ever talk to hates overseas games. She's got like the track or something for people like, oh, they love it. I know they love it, but fans of the team don't love it.
Right.
I don't know anybody in Miami that loves going there that is as a fan. I mean, I think, personally, it's just my opinion. I'm just old school. I think 1 or 2 over there is fine, but the way they're doing it now, I just think it's too much. I just think it's too much.
And it was convenient for the Vikings to do 2 games in a row there. They did the one in Dublin, Ireland, and then the one in London. So that made it a little easier for them, but their fans lost 2 games.
Yeah, I know. As a fan, it's if you're a season ticket holder and stuff like that, it sucks. And like I said, I've just never met anybody say once is fine.
Oh,
but when they start doing these multiple,
I know you're considered
back-to-backs.
one team is considered the home team and the other is the visitor.
Look, that is awesome.
Ouch.
That is awesome right there. That
I never know.
I've never seen a fan over there not like it. Honestly, that's my first one right there. Because
when I look in the stands, I want to know how many are locals and how many are Americans that traveled over there. Because you don't know.
When you go to England, it's a little different with the Dolphins. There's a lot of Dolphin followers over in England when you do it. But when you're going to these other countries and all you see are like every 32 team, there's not one home.
Yeah.
That to me is a little bit, come on. That's my problem there. It's like, I can understand if you have like a great fan base, because we have a great fan base in England. We do. We have a great, and that's why I said once in a while is great going over there and seeing them and doing that. But when you go to these other odd places just to throw a overseas place in there, they're not true fans of the team. They're just going,
Yeah. I think Sue, I agree. I think it's probably from a certain perspective, semantics. They're both away, right? But one of them gets the home field jersey, the other one gets the away jersey and the coin toss and all that stuff. But I think from a scheduling perspective, you should still get 8 home games. It should not take away one of your home games so that your fans still get the number of opportunities to watch you play at home as they should. And to close our show today, Big Red is not giving up. Spencer to Arizona would be a homecoming because he is from Phoenix.
There you go.
We'll see if the Cardinals reach out.
That'll be some fun off-season stuff for us.
Yeah.
Red. That'll be some fun off-season stuff to find out like where your favorite players are going and if they're moving.
Well, for an evening where we had no idea what we were going to talk about, we talked for 45 minutes.
There we go.
And we did a great job.
Lisa popped in and out twice, and we
still did great. Damn Elon.
Oh my gosh.
Icicles hitting my satellite.
Oh Lord. All right. Sonia, take us out of here.
All right, chat. Thanks for hanging out with us, asking questions. We love it. Tomorrow we'll see y'all college fans, 8 p.m. Eastern, talking some Heisman and some smaller division teams this time, y'all, for real. But we're excited, and we'll see you guys tomorrow if you're going to watch. And otherwise, see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Mendoza. Misfire for Mendoza.